All of these social platforms that we have right now can be, if utilized correctly, an incredible positive tool to eliminate stigma.
Yeah.
The more we talk about things, the more normal they become, right? And so I think, that culture of sweeping things under the rug and not talking about sex or HIV or what it's like to be a young person or to be gay or transgender, all of that stuff, the more we normalize it, the more we just throw it out there for young people, for the world to see, the better off we will all be. With everything happening in this movement, this global movement of just everybody kind of collectively coming together, women, and saying no more. This acknowledgement of how wrong things have been and how men have been excused for a lot of bad behavior, but it's also shown us in that same place that there are so many men who are just as fed up as a lot of women are. There are a lot of men who are in full support of this, who want this to change. I have had men come up to me and go, "It's about time." Yeah. And just so you know, I'm right behind you.
Yes.
We're not going to be able to change anything when it comes to female rights unless we have men understanding what we're asking for and acknowledging what we're asking for and giving us the respect to have what we're asking for. We have some of those guys that are right behind us, and then we have a lot of guys that we still have to bring over on our side. So the work isn't done, but I think we should utilize the men that are behind us as much as we possibly can instead of isolating them. We need them to be part of this fight with us. I think that you guys are doing something incredible, and I think the power in what you guys are doing is creating an environment where you are talking about things that some people are still very scared to talk about. Even though South Africa is a country that has a constitution that is one of the best constitutions for our LGBTQ community, we still don't live by that constitution. What is written on that piece of paper and how people are actually behaving towards the LGBTQ community is not quite the same yet. And so it takes a group of young people like you to use a format like MTV that is for young people to do something that pushes the envelope and to make people out there, especially young people, not feel alone. The more you guys are playing these incredible characters, the more you're showing to South Africa and the world that this is the representation of our youth today, of our world today. So get with it. Because young people are not going to stop. And I think it's so incredibly supportive, and I think it's so inspiring. And so I am incredibly proud to be able to work with you guys. I think you guys are real, true game changers, and what you're doing is really going to change things. I want us to be able to take this space that we should have had a long time ago. I want African women to find their voice and to have a place where their voice actually lands and they're not just talking into the air and it's not heard. And I think those opportunities need to be thoughtfully created and handed over to young women. I think so often we forget that if you don't have those opportunities, there's nothing you can really do until you are given that opportunity. And I've experienced that myself in my own life. And so I'm a real believer in creating those opportunities for young women especially, where they're not just getting an opportunity to talk, but they're getting an opportunity to talk and to be heard.
I came out to my parents when I was about 23, 24. And I grew up in the 1950s and I knew nothing about being gay whatsoever. And I came out to my parents and they already knew. So, and I didn't have a difficult journey. I wish I'd have known at 15 or 16 or 17 that I was gay and that I could have known about sex and about relationships and about who I was at that point. I have two young boys and it's great that they have a daddy and a papa, and they have no problem with that. And it's just wonderful to be able to be who you are in this show. And I only wish, I envy you because I wish I could have been gayer when I was younger. I think sex should always be talked about. I knew nothing about sex, and my parents never taught me anything about sex. I think sex is part of life, it's who we are. and you shouldn't be afraid of sex. And I think if more people were sexually educated at a younger age, it would be better for the whole world. Social media is so important for people to communicate with each other and talk to each other and kind of get a community going with each other. Her son, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has inherited that brilliant capacity to make people feel loved and welcome. It's just to make people feel loved, no matter who you are, whether you're gay, whether you're another color, whether you're another religion, to actually reach out and say, that's what humanity is about. And that was an incredible, incredible moment, a game changer, as I said, in the face of AIDS, and one that I think visually will never be forgotten.
But like, you know, dancers are like, what? Being naked is nothing.
Ever had a medical marijuana pill or oil or pudding or however it comes?
Yes, I have. I mean, I'm always willing to try anything.
He's in all the Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12.
Jennifer Lopez. Really? That's it? That's what you give me? That's what you gave, that's what you gave me? Oh, I'm actually really good at it. I'm a little worried about you. But it's your show, so let's go.
Soul Cycle. Was it true that you tried to ban her from Soul Cycle? Do you know who this is? What?
Theron have an Oscar. Yeah, bitches, I do.
Guys, you have a baby. Stop. You got your shot. Enough. I mean, I am a big lover of the word yeah.
Super loyal, very loyal, and they're really loving. Hey, I'm actually sharing something for real. Like, this is not a joke. Love that whole car culture.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, which people are very weirded out. Like, I've heard a couple of things that came out, and they were like, what is Charlize Theron doing here?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And I was like, yo, first of all, really just heard like, blah, 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 and then I just heard, Karen, handle it!
Oloshi.
You piece of shit.
Come on guys, please subscribe to my channel, and when you subscribe, please hit the bell button so you can get further notification about our videos, views and reviews. And if you like this segment, give me a like too. Take care till then, bye bye.